Okay, so it is Christmas morning. It's Christmas morning. The sun is just coming up, and it's Christmas Day 2024, and I've got the screen on here, and of course, they're making me feel as soon as I turn the screen on, it's saying that I'll be homeless and this sort of thing. Everywhere I go, just a few streets around, they always have mattresses left out on the street. Everything around you, not just with the suppressive sound and continual lights in your eyes from blinking and flashing headlights and backlights on cars, where you feel as though you're in another, you feel as though you're in this artificial hell light and sound show that seems so unreal and so artificial, even though if you look at it individually, they're just individual cars, trucks, buses, planes, but they're all around you. And they're only around you, so that's the thing too. So because they're only around you and no one else sees them, because they suppress human beings, isolate you, and then take you down one at a time. This just comes on. Everything that's on the internet is total personal computerized mind control, and most people don't realize it. Or if they do, they're part of it. I mean, these actual images and every person on there is part of what we call the matrix. That means they are part of the dark side. Yes, they think they are part of the light side, because don't forget, they believe in their matrix god or the god of earth. But either way, most androgyne beings are programmed with a mindset. That means they believe just as many people do. They project out their negative side and assume what they believe about themselves, incorporate that and believe it's their own, that sort of thing. So, I was just gonna, it's Christmas Day, so, oh dear, it's a bit messy here. Christmas Day. I just threw a bit of bread out for the birds out here and a bit of food. So I was hoping to get them, but they've all flown away, even though the sun's just come up. But there's a few ibises left. Why do they have to leave these things around? Everything is left around. It's Christmas Day, and the garbage men who are normally here would come out and suppress you, but they're playing possum because they don't want to be seen as what they are. Yesterday morning I come out here when it was just coming light, but it was much earlier than this even. It was still dead dark, and I had a police vehicle outside the house with flashing lights, and of course I ignored it. And they were going, just paroling around with huge bright lights, and I should have filmed that because it was, but I didn't even ask them why they were here, because I know that they come here to cause trouble and to get your energy. So, there's some up there on the roof. But, you know, like every day is like filled with fear. This is Christmas Day, Christmas morning. Yeah, see the garbage tins, they've pulled them all out, including mine, because I wasn't sure. But there's quite a few birds around here on Christmas morning, all the ibises. Normally I don't get that many ibises around there, those lovely big white birds. Normally just get more pigeons, but there's quite a few around. I should perhaps try to find something else to put out. I was going to go down just down a few doors down and film the big doggy that was lit up. I actually was a bit disappointed that it wasn't lit up. That it wasn't lit up for, you know, for the Christmas You know, because normally it's lit up. The last 2 years it's been lit up just a few doors down this great big doggy that sits on the front, and flashing little, yeah, they're the only flashing lights I don't mind, because although they flash, they're not bright like the excessively bright lights of every vehicle that you see on the road, but they're also flashing bright lights too. Also, they sit in cars with the lights on late of a night, just patrolling and stalking in a intrusive psychopathic manner that is very, you know, it shows it's a patrol force and that it's a total matrix around you, that every single vehicle is not randomly driving anyway. Yesterday, and every day in fact, I just have bumper to bumper traffic jams day and night, and this is not natural, because even traffic jams should only be twice a day for a very limited time. But where I go, I have traffic jams that are just, yeah, they look like traffic jams, but they're not normal because they're all the time, which shows that you have a total patrol force. It's like an army of vehicles coming at you, and it's mentally and physically, I mean, it can make you fall over because you become so disorientated that you can't keep your balance because it's so suppressive. It's not like having one or two psychopathic stalkers. Even that would mentally destroy you, but it actually affects your whole body because it's mesmerizing and it's so intrusive. It's, I can't even describe it. But this is the only peaceful time with these few birds, and it's a wonder they haven't come with the garbage. But see, they know I'm coming out here and filming. Yesterday I came straight outside and I didn't have the mobile, so I couldn't film the, you know, the what do you call, the authorities' vehicle right outside the place at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, like before the sun had even come up. It was actually still pitch black dark, and the sun was coming up about a few minutes later, and I left that early yesterday. Today I'm extremely late and way behind. It's Christmas Day though, so that's all right. Why do they have that? Like, why do they leave these scooters out in front of me too? Like, why? They're not my scooters, you know. It's like they're, I don't know what they're trying to say half the time. Everything's left around, so they leave everywhere, all over the streets. They leave untidy garbage everywhere you go. You know, usually indicating, yes, like that showed on the thing, homelessness and poverty, making you feel down as if they're going to get you because they know that there's only so much you can take. I've been taking this now, and I do wonder if this will be my last Christmas, because you do wonder how much longer you can take it, but also you wonder why. You're actually, you know, you wonder why you know that it's just going to go on and on until you are finished, because if it was going to stop, it would have stopped, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. But this would actually be a very pleasant Christmas morning for me, even though I'm on my own here and whatever. And when I say on your own, I mean even if you know people, if they are not for you, if they are part of this matrix and secretly working against you, not a secret to you, but sometimes it is a secret to some people that the people around them are fair weather friends, actually psychopaths in human bodies, or the artificial machine beings. All these are the same types of entities, if you know what I mean, all the same types of human beings. They all have the same personality. They all have the programmed mind of the you know, the artificial intelligent computer system that controls Earth, which in another sense is the mind of the being that controls Earth, and that's just an artificial computer mind. It's very advanced artificial intelligence. That just simply means that it's intelligence without being fully human. Fully human is something that we've took for granted. We assume it's a human Earth, even though we know that some human beings are obviously colder than others, but we don't tend to think that any are not human at all, or don't have any humanness in them, even though we're now told, of course, that the psychopathy of the psychopath and the malignancy of the narcissist type individual is, and these particular what they call personality types, if you've watched a million psychology videos as I have over the last 10 years on the computer and on the YouTube and the different platforms. But either way, yeah, this would actually be like bliss if it was Christmas morning and I didn't know that as soon as I go down the road, the traffic patrol system, even on Christmas Day, will be there. It will not be as intense on Christmas Day, but you will still have it. For most people, if you realised you were surrounded by, say, a couple of thousand patrolling stalkers, it would be very devastating. That's Christmas Day. On a normal every other day, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these patrollers that systematically go round and round you as a traffic patrol system. And of course you have the planes that go over the roof. Notice how the sky is clear today, not a single plane coming over my head as soon as I come outside the front door. Normally, even at this early time, you will, if they can't mentally bring down your frequency and vibration, they will start up at 5 o'clock in the morning with the planes over the roof and go till very late of a night. In fact, they can even send, of course, the random patrol ones to suppress you if they can't use the traffic around you. I'm just saying all this. I'm trying to be very calm here. I didn't intend to film. I wanted to. A bit disappointed that I didn't get up a bit early to get down and show the little doggy that's just down there. It's only not far down, just a little bit down the end of the small dead-end street, but it's very quiet this morning. This would actually be pleasant if it was normal like this, as it should be every morning, every day of the year. But usually I'm invaded with, around here, as might have seen, where you have the workforce coming around early, invading the whole street. That is not going to be the case just for a few days because it's Christmas. And of course they're running out of invasion things when they had all this street dig up. Next door, they're still continuing that on with what I call pretend work, because it's gone on and should have been finished. And the same at the back of the place where I am here, continual noise, just year after year, every day, with one work production, one place being pulled down after another in the street, but usually right next to me. That's, when it gets, but even when it has been a few doors down, they make the sound so loud that it still comes into your house. But if they can't get to you with that, then they just bring it right alongside of you. And yes, every single person in the neighbourhood is part of it, because you hear then the random neighbours making the noise, the suppressive noise. And actually the system is just very slowly starting to come up, because although I'm not going to show it with the mobile, you're going to have the patrollers even starting to come, even on Christmas Day, onto this small dead-end street. This street goes nowhere. This street ends just down here, so there's nowhere to walk to. You know what I mean? But speak of it. That is a patroller. Looks like an innocent walker or jogger or these sorts of activities that they excessively engage in this area. But in reality, that is an army patrol operatives. That's what you would call it. That means they work for the powers that be, and that powers that be, of course, is a human anti-life, anti-human army control system. It is designed to bring you down without, as they say, it's what they call a dreadful thing, but it's called a soft kill, no touch kill operation. And I was devastated when I heard this, when it started up on me. You know, nearly 8 years ago when I became well, it was 7.5 years ago when I became fully aware of what was happening to me. Before that, I couldn't understand why I had these stalking vehicles starting up around me. And they gradually get you immersed into it to where they escalate it to where it's everything around you. But they have to draw you in by first making you believe that it's a few people that don't like you, that you've got a few, say neighbours or people around that have took a dislike, and they've got a few other people to stalk you. This is the misconception to where they want you to take it at a very individualised personal level. Yes, these people are also involved. These same people that you might originally start to say, who could this be that would have started up this program around me? But in reality, it's when you see the Air Force involved and, every powers that be, local bus, and in astronomical numbers, and yes, everything that is the Inner West Council, which means everything, every industry, every single thing in the local area. And that local area, the Inner West, is not just this suburb of Leichhardt, it is also all the adjoining suburbs around, because all these communities combined, because gradually, that's right, it shows you that everything's connected, and it is. And they're all connected, but they're connected to powers that be that don't want a human reality, or a very human reality. Sure, if I'm getting these birds in, I should really be making it a bit. Oh yeah, I just made a bit closer there. I just brought that a bit closer. So he's right next to me. He's only a few feet away, but I don't want to get like within a few inches to show them up close, because otherwise they'll run away because they'll be frightened. Yes, this is even though I feel highly agitated and nervous and stressed, because yesterday was very stressful, as every day is. It's just, you wonder if it's going to be the last Christmas. You actually do, and that sounds dramatic, but you do, because you never know when your body's going to give out under the pressure, even mentally you really have, like you're feeling angry, stressed and agitated all the time. You're never relaxed, you're never at peace with your environment, you actually become paranoid, like the paranoid beings that are around you. In other words, these are paranoid, psychopathic, controlling beings that operate in these communities combined around you, to patrol and suppress you. But they are paranoid because they watch you every second, and that's their living. And because they're not human, just as the psychopath doesn't have, the 7 human things that can occupy their mind and take them away from just being completely about power and control all the time. So this is something that even I find very difficult to comprehend. I understand the concept of power and control, but I don't understand that that's all a human being focuses on, and that they centre it around human beings that they shouldn't even be interested in or want or need to control. But that's because what they call where they focus intensely on you. So they notice every little thing about you. So they're almost looking for a reason to believe that you're a problem so that they can function. So they need something to suppress, something to control. And because they're very anti-life and anti-human, and they notice human qualities that human beings don't see as significant, they see as very important because it's alien to them, if you follow me. So when I'm looking at the birds, they don't get it. I don't give it a second thought. I don't give 9 out of 10 that human beings don't give second thought to the human things they do. But if you aren't a human species, or if you're psychopathic and malignantly of the other personality disordered types that are really, they're all the same type of human being. They are. But they, I guess, like human beings, still adopt different things and different ways of being a functioning android or a functioning, controlling, anti-life, anti-human entity in a human body, you could say. That's the only way I can describe it. In other words, that's their whole personality, their whole state of being. So it's, these things are described by the psychopaths on the internet, all your truth tellers, your psychologists, your philosophers. I've repeated it before, but in spiritual terms, that they are your end-time false prophets or your end-time pretend beings of light that are really camouflaging and using the transhuman connection to me and to you if you're a human, because we're all connected, you see. But these ones are mainly connected to the real humans so they can pretend to be the real human. That is how they're deceiving the world, you could say, really. Because a psychopath doesn't know how to be human. An artificial intelligent machine being doesn't really know how to be human. But don't forget also that the powers that be that control Earth, even though they're not fully human, they have been around watching humans, interacting with them for a long, long time. So they understand and are completely up to date with how much their mind control is working on human beings. In other words, they create this reality around you. And then I'm losing it here. I'm actually getting... Even the bird noises can take you, because don't forget the birds are affected by the artificial intelligent Wi-Fi around them. So they're actually being controlled by that too sometimes. The reason you know this is because when I go down the road at 3 o'clock in the morning, when no bird should make a sound, and there shouldn't even be, the din down the main road just around the corner here, when you go at 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes is unbearable. And that shows you that the birds are not fully natural in their behaviour, because when they don't have the ability to suppress you with the traffic system, or where they don't want to make it too obvious at a particular time when there should be, say, no traffic, like in other words, at 2 or 3 in the morning, you can't fake a traffic jam. You can't fake a traffic jam, whereas all day you can fake a traffic jam, even low traffic jams, if any real person was around or understood that traffic jams don't go all day. They only, especially when you've got a total underground tunnel city traffic system under this city which they built. Anyway, I'm just going to stop here because I can't believe that it's... I should have cleaned all that up. Every time I look at that bowl, I clean it and it's crystal clear water, and then when I come it's all murky. I'm not quite sure why that happens, because I only cleaned it out yesterday. But that's also to make... That's... This mind control... This mind control that we talk about is at a minute level. It's what they call, and the psychopathic psychological investigators that are on the internet will tell you this. And I say this because they understand their own psychology. The more, I guess intellectual of them understand their own psychology. And so they can actually tell you that they call it micromanaging a human being. That means at a minuscule detail level. That's like at your very personal level, at a detail level. So it's not just about the big traffic and the planes and the patrol people and the sound system that they set up around you to take you down. All these things are the big things that anyone can see, but it's personalised at an intimate, microscopic level where it's a total mind control matrix, because they have the ability to see through my eyes and hear the same as what I hear, and they can, like right this moment, they can feel the tension of my body. You can't, because I'm talking into the mobile, but they can actually, they're getting those reactions due to the technology that's implanted in me. So they receive the signals at the computer level of what's going on in my body. So that's how they, what they call micromanage you, because they're actually keeping your body under their total control. So if they know that you're not feeling tense in the body and your body's starting to raise its frequency and vibration, then they'll bring in more sound to suppress you, more traffic, more planes, more of everything. That's how it works. It's very and it's such a pity, because this should be like this every day. This is Christmas morning, just the sun has just come up, and it should be like this every day, and it should be quiet like this. And there should be no one on this small dead-end street every day, and yet most of the time I'm invaded every day by an army workforce, and I should, that's just all I'm saying. This is just my own personal reality, and it happens to other people over the world, but it's only happening to what I call human beings. I know this. And I would know what was happening to me, but I wouldn't understand how they were able to control so much around me in such a precise manner everywhere I go, without the use of excessive technology. You could have this same situation by the powers that be controlling certain people and getting them to, say, patrol in their vehicles. Certain organisations even could be just implemented with cars and vehicles to do these things. Even the planes could be part of the Air Force, the Army Air Force, which they actually are. But it's just that they are using civilian passenger planes for this purpose as part of the patrol system. That way, any other human beings that would be around in the city wouldn't notice, that the planes or the sky was, had army aircraft in it, and they would, and I suppose a more aware, or someone who was more observant of their surroundings, which normal human beings should be. But of course, as you know, people are preoccupied with other things too. So not all human beings in their daily life would even care if an army aircraft went in the sky these days, just as if authorities, helicopters, or you had excessive, some people don't take any notice if there's police sirens going all day, like I often experience. They just think they're doing their and this is not really normal. But it's like I say, it depends on if you observe these things and then say, oh, I wonder why. I wonder where the trouble is, why they've got these things. In a city like the city of Sydney, you would question, army aircraft in the sky. So they have to use passenger or, even jets that don't look that way, so that people think that you're living, but really everything is part of that, and we're actually told that. And most people are conscious that the army employs normal civilian people that have certain professions to work for them, even though you'd say, is there really anything going on to where we need these things? But we've been convinced that we do. But really, they're about controlling human beings, not about keeping a particular area safe. And at any rate, the earth should belong to all people, really. So, that is actually the case. I can hear, the plane is not making itself present, but I can hear an aircraft, but I can't see one in the sky. Can you hear it? Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, patrol vehicle is finally starting, even on Christmas Day, this patrol vehicle. Look, where is it going to stop? This vehicle does not live here, but it's pulled right up in front of me outside of my place. So this is a patrol stalking vehicle. Watch it. Going to pull right up, right in front. And it will do the usual back and forwards. Everywhere you go, they pull in and out as you go past. They leave their engine running. See, so this vehicle is just going to sit here and stalk on Christmas morning. Watch it, but I'm going to stop the thing and go inside because I'm not going to observe it. But it's just going to stay here. Like, I don't know this person. It's pulled up outside my place. It doesn't live next door. It doesn't live here. And this is what you experience everywhere. See, it's just going to sit there. The person, I can't even see them. They've pulled the windows all up. They're just going to sit there for a period of time, and then they will pull out and drive away. This is what you experience everywhere you go, except usually it's more brightly lit, shall we say. Normally you'll have the flashing lights on the cars, and you'll have the engine running. This one has stopped and turned the engine off. Normally they leave the engine running to create annoying sound for you, and also it makes their presence more felt, because if there's no sound and you really try to get above this stalking patrol system, you actually can ignore Christmas Day. Everyone should be home at another patrol vehicle coming, see? Another patrol vehicle. That's a dead-end street there. It stops. You can't go any further. So these vehicles just... now watch it. Proof here that this is a patrol vehicle, because it is lurking, the same white car, lurking, patrolling. See how slow it's going past me? It's actually stopped behind this vehicle here, because it knew that I was going to show that it was going to come up here, so it's actually stopped. Can you see it moving there behind it? And there's another one come up. Where did this other vehicle come from? It's just, there it goes. See? Patrolled up and down. And another one was pulling around in front. See, it just pulled in there. It was the same vehicle. This is, the street finishes just there. That's how small this street is. And this person has stopped their car there and is getting out, having a look, and is now going, look at it, an innocent old man just got out, just come down the street, pulled out his car. Now he's just got in and out the car, just come, and now he's going to go back into the car and he will drive away. This is, and you know, bangs the door. This is, these people look very innocent, but they're not. They're not. At any rate, the birds have gone, so perhaps it's time for me to just say this is the quietest I'm ever going to get it the last few days, because it's leading up to Christmas. But actually the traffic down the road has been astronomically bumper to bumper. Just like as though you're in this, as though the traffic is extremely artificial. It's hard to describe. I could film it, but see, even when you film traffic, most people are used to a lot of traffic. And also they might say, well, yes, you have a lot of traffic, but they don't realise that it's all around you, that it's swirling around you. That everywhere you look, you'll see a turning vehicle with bright flashing lights. It completely takes over your senses. You have no sense of your own reality. But you can't stop people from patrolling you, because you can't prove that hundreds of thousands of people are part of a patrol system. If you have one person that follows you and they know you, you can say that person is what they call a psychopathic or obsessed stalker. Most people believe that. But when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of obsessed stalkers, it makes no sense to most people, because it actually doesn't make sense. It's total insanity. But these are psychopathic, obsessive, paranoid, controlling, power-hungry types of people, because that's what a psychopath is. And that's the personality that you're talking about. Oh, a bird come back. And the sun is actually starting to come up here, so perhaps it actually is time for me to stop the video. Christmas Day is usually the only best day of the year for me, because it's usually the most quiet that you'll ever get. They can't do any work productions. they don't send as many people onto the street because they all have to pretend to be good Christmas normal human beings. So, and there's nothing open, so they can't, but I will still have, if I go down the road, what should be normal everyday traffic. In other words, you will have a few cars, a few buses, and a few people. That should be like that every day of the year in reality. This is what you can't actually prove, though. Well, I can prove it to myself because I know what it was like for 30 years here, So when over the last 10 years, or the last 8 years, because I became aware of the nature of the people around here 10 years ago, but they became aware of that and then started the patrol system. The bird has flown away and he's flown, I think he has flown, and that's it. I'm going inside and, oh dear, oh, why do I have to have this on here too? See, they have these bright coloured bags that they make you carry. That's the colour of the work shirts that all the people around, everywhere you look, all you see is these bright green types of jackets and bright orange jackets around, everywhere you go. Yes, there is a patrol van coming in too on Christmas morning. Why is there a patrol van? It's not very intrusive, but look, a patrol van is pulling in just as I come in the door. See how it's moving backwards and forwards, right in my line of sight. It says Australia on the side because it's all these things are. See how this is just pulling in front, doesn't live there, and is going to patrol and sit outside of where I live on Christmas Day. Can you see how these vehicles, even though they look as though they're just innocent little cars, nothing like the patrol system, the astronomical, huge numbers of patrol systems that come around, this fella knows that I'm watching him, but he's like, so what, because they just pretend they're normal people. Like that man's got out, and oh, he's just going to stand in front of me. Can you see that? How he's just going to stand and look right at me. See how he stopped? And here's another one. These two are combined. See, those two are combined. They're combined. All the people in the whole neighbourhood are combined. See, they just park their car there and then just get up and walk away and get out. So they come down an unknown street, a small dead-end street, park their vehicle, as you saw them all round, and then just get out and walk out. Okay.